on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to our next live Q&A. And what I am going to do is to copy and paste this live YouTube video link onto our Facebook live video. And let me just do that right now. Okay, great. View the keyboard on this YouTube link above. Yep, so we're just gonna get that sorted out. And now that's sorted. And now on YouTube Live, I am going to share my screen. And you will only be seeing me on Cordy, present to everyone. And cool. I do believe I am screen sharing already. And with that, I finally got all my tech out of the way. Welcome to our 17th of October live Q&A. It's been a while, and I had a really good break, my first break in a very long time. We went back to Singapore, and I met up with a ton of good friends and family, ate a ton of really good food. And also we had some friends and relatives visit us in Melbourne. So it's been a busy time of hosting them. But I also saw a lot of very interesting conversation and questions that were being asked on the Inspire Keys Academy. And I'm very excited to jump on here right now to answer those questions. And just wanted to make sure that I get all this intro out of the way. So I am broadcasting this live on Facebook and also on YouTube. So if you've never watched a live Q&A before, I wanted to explain that this is a time for me to answer Worship Keys questions asked by the Inspire Keys Academy members only. So if you are from the general public, you're watching this on YouTube, and you have a Worship Keys question, if you post into the chat group on the YouTube live video right now with the chat box on the right side, I will not be answering your questions there. I will only be answering questions from the Inspire Keys Academy members. And I will be answering them in two ways. So first up, if you are an Inspire Keys Academy member and you are watching this live on our Facebook group, which is a private members-only Facebook group, post your Worship Keys question there right now. And hello, Tracy. I can see Tracy's joined us from the Academy Facebook group, so huge welcome to you. Academy members who join us live and ask questions in the Facebook chat get their questions answered with priority. So I will answer your question first because I really want to honor that you take the time to join us right now. But if you don't ask any questions, what I have done is to compile a list of questions that people have asked me over the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I will be answering them. But if Academy members ask on the chat first, I will be giving you priority. So thank you for understanding. So let's just test out the YouTube link that I have. Okay, you might just hear me talking in a bit. Just hang on a sec. Good. Okay, first I will be giving you. Okay, cool. So I can see there are 6 people watching on YouTube Live right now. Thank you so much for watching. On YouTube, you will only see my Cordy app. Yeah, you should be able to see me play that there right now. So yeah, I shall jump right into our Q&A. So yep, Inspire Keys Academy members, a couple of us are jumping in right now. If you have any questions, please pop them in there. I think I might just type that in here into our Facebook group chat. Do post your Worship Keys questions here, and I'll answer these questions in the chat with priority. Cool. Okay, so I've done that, and I will jump right into my first question that I have compiled over the weeks. And the first question is from Borum. Borum is our first is our new Inspire Keys Academy member, and I really want to welcome Borum into our awesome community here. And Borum was saying that she would like me to demonstrate how I will play a simple and complex version of Mighty to Save, but she wants me to be specifically using arpeggios. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull up Bora's recording. She actually sent me something over the last couple of weeks. And what I'm going to do is to try and find that recording right now and make sure that I tailor my answer as close to what she would like me to do as possible. So let's just check that out. Okay, so yep, I found the recording and here it is. Okay, so as we can hear, Boram's current recording is very arpeggio focused. Now, I do believe Boram is playing in the key of D major, which is based on what I am hearing right now. But I'm not really sure because it sounds a little bit like G, and I think Mighty to Save is in the key of G. So what I might do is to play it in the key of G first. Okay, so okay, so what I might do now is to demonstrate how I might use the arpeggios. Okay, let's just hope that chordy stays stable because they have, it is an awesome software. It shows you exactly what chords I'm playing and stuff, but it doesn't really stay stable, so it might shut. So, so if we're in the key of G, and I am going to demonstrate the chorus section only, it's yeah, so now that was just sort of like an arpeggio exercise. Do I recommend playing like this in an actual worship set? I probably won't. So, so Boram, this is what I recommend if you really want to do a lot of arpeggios. This is like this kind of a chord combination is fantastic. It just sounds really appropriate for the worship genre. For the contemporary worship genre at the very least. So what I'll recommend is your left hand plays the bass notes, and then your right hand just plays a lot of, and make sure your rhythm is da 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 da. It's always bass and then right hand, bass and then right hand. So So that's a really good, as you can hear, it's a very versatile kind of chord that you can roll up and down, and pretty much I think it fits most of the chords of your left hand. So your left hand can go ahead and change, and it will still sound pretty awesome. Like anything though, the only caution is do not overuse it. If you overuse that and you use, because I was just doing that throughout the entire chorus section, if you do it for verse and for bridge and for pre-chorus and for intro, it's just going to be an overkill. So make sure to do something different from that. And that's also a very busy kind of a style of playing. It's lots of rhythms, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So it's really busy. It gives a sense of relentlessness, which then makes the song sound really, just really tiring to listen to if you play it that way the whole time. Now, if I were to play Mighty to Save normally, like I'm not going to infuse arpeggios as an intentional effort, then I will probably just comp like very sort of normal chords, so maybe something like that. Okay, and just as I guessed, why would Cordy be so unstable, guys? I am so sorry. Cordy has just crashed on me. I'm going to give Cordy one more try. And if it crashes, I will have to go into my older software, which is called ENQUIRIES. And it's just as good, but then it doesn't show as much information as Cordy does, okay? So let's just give this a try. I will have to go into my YouTube live window to make sure I turn on Cordy again. So I'm sorry, guys, you do need to hang on a little sec. So on YouTube live, application window, share screen, Cordy, and you should be able to see me on YouTube with my keyboard view again. Cool, so I'm back. Okay, so I'm just gonna demonstrate that one more time. And for Inspired Keys Academy members, I just wanna let you know that I am recording this from my laptop screen with a better quality version. So if YouTube's video does not suffice for you, maybe it lagged a little bit, stay tuned. I will post a better quality recording on inside the Inspired Keys Academy. So this is what I will do. And so maybe if I get really tired of that, then I'll infuse the arpeggio. God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Yeah, so I might just do that. So yeah, basically that is what I will do for Mighty to Save. So I hope that suffices in terms of the complex version versus the simple version. So I'm just going to jump onto my Facebook chat right now to just see if there's any conversation going. Cool, Teresa joined us as well. Hello, Teresa, awesome having you. I think David's also here, so hello, David. So yeah, awesome. Now I can see that Tracy, because you joined us, I want to answer your question next. So I'm actually going to go ahead and finish up Gorham's question. Gorham also asked about what's the meaning of F5, E minor 7, and A sus. Okay, so when you see something like F5, basically it is like an F, and I'll just turn off. I'll just turn off the key at the moment. So, okay, so basically it's just an F with a C inside the F. Now, I think that's very strange because when you have an F, by default, you should have a C inside, like I said, F chord. So if you ever see the words F5 as a chord symbol for your worship song, it could be that they just want you to play the F and the C without the A, which is the third note. So I guess if I have to play F5, I'm just going to do a whole bunch of Fs and Cs, but I'm not going to have an A in there. If I add an A, I'll change the chord quality to just a good old classical F. So I guess, Borum, it just means don't play the A, just play the F, Cs, okay? Now the next question is, what is E minor 7? Okay, so that would be an E minor 7. E with a small m next to it means E minor. So this is an E minor. And then when you have to add a 7 there, you just count from the E, which is the 1, and then you add the 7th note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be a D, or you can also count back 1 from E. So if E is the 1 or the 8, then the 7 is 1 down from E, which would be a D. and that would be an E minor 7, and it's a beautiful chord. I always recommend, if you play a minor chord, add the 7th in there. You could change the way you play it, so it's not like all 4 of the thirds are right next to each other. That's a little bit crowded. You might want to play something like that. Yeah, so I love E minor 7. Absolutely use it if you can. And then the next one I think was A sus. So yeah, Borum is asking, what is an A sus? So an A sus, there are a few ways to sus something. Usually it's a 4-3, sometimes it's a 2-3. So if this is an A chord, and if it's an A sus 4, that means they want you to play the 4th note. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, if we're talking A major scale. So you have a C sharp in there. So you have to play the A with a 4, which would be the D, and then you resolve down a step to the C sharp. Okay, so instead of the regular, like, boring A, which is a little bit too clean and classical for my liking, or for most worship keys, contemporary kind of pop sound, you want to use this instead. Okay, so my left hand's basically playing 1-5, and my right hand's playing 1-5, but with the 4 inside. Okay, and then the 4 has to resolve down to a 3. Okay, so instead of playing just a normal, I'm playing. Yeah, and that sounds so much better. Sometimes the sus can be a sus 2, which would be a, that being the 2 there, and then the sus 2 resolves up to a 3, or sometimes it could just be a 2 resolving down to a 1, so just like a. But it resolves just nicely up to the 3 as well, so. So yeah, Bo, I really hope that answers your question. I do believe Bo sent another recording. Basically, she is asking for feedback on her second recording, and I am just going to play the second recording really quick right now. Okay, so Bo, I do believe that you are recording in the key of D this time, and I'm sorry if I got the key wrong the first time. But if we're in the key of D, I'm just going to set this into the key of D. We do have an F sharp and C sharp. So I do believe that is the opening part, which is the everyone needs forgiveness, right? So this is what I'm hearing you play. And Bo, the only problem that I hear is that your left hand bass notes seem to be playing half a beat early in every bar. So if we have the definition of the beats being 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're playing on 4 with your bass notes when it should come in at a 1. Okay, so this is how it should sound: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Da 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 the kindness of the Savior. He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save forever. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Yep. So, Bo, that would be the way I would play it. Make sure that your left hand comes in on beat 1 and not before 1, which is what I hear in your recording. Thank you so much, Bo, for sending 2 recordings. I really appreciate it. It's always awesome hearing how you play as Inspired Keys Academy members, and that way I can really give you some solid feedback about how to improve. So thank you, and again, I appreciate that, Bo. I'm actually going to go straight into the Facebook chat. I can see that Adam has joined us. Hello, Adam. The more people jumping into the chat, I also see that David says hi, and hey, Sandra, awesome seeing you again, David. Tracy, thank you so much for joining us early. You are one of the first to join us. And I am going to jump straight up to your queue is going to be bumped up so that, Tracy, I can give you feedback first. And I do believe you shared a recording on Thank You, Jesus. Now, here's the thing. I actually don't know if I've received your new email. You did say that you are going to send me something else, which I am just looking through. And I don't see your second email. So Tracy, I can't give you feedback on the one that you said you recorded with your band, but I can give you feedback on your first recording, which is on Thank You, Jesus. So Thank You, Jesus is a song from Hillsong. And now here is the thing. I need a little bit of time to listen to how Thank You, Jesus sounds, so that I can really see if you are playing it in the same style. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time to play Hillsong's Thank You, Jesus. And while I do that, let's listen. Grace that flows like a river, washing over me. Fount of heaven, love of Christ, overflow. Come on, sing. Thank you, Jesus. Set me free. Thank you, Lord, Christ my Savior. Rescue me. Take this life, deliver the vessel of your love. Holy now, devoted, see your kingdom come. Thank you, Jesus. Set me free. Christ my Savior. Rescue me. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Set me free. Christ my Savior. Rescue me. Jesus. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for your patience, guys, while I just analyze a little bit of that. And I'm actually going to just jump right into Tracy's recording, and then let's listen to how she plays. And then I can give some feedback. Okay, so. By the way, Tracy, that's an amazing sound you're using. It's just so powerful. Grace that flows like a river, washing over. Found our and love of Christ, overflowing me. Thank you, Jesus. You set me free. Okay, wait, I just have to hang on right here. And I'm not sure if you're still here with us, Tracy, but my gosh, I guess I might have to say you sound better than the Hillsong singer. You sounded amazing, like your voice is awesome. And I was also really just analyzing what you were playing. You had your little bits of suspensions on the 4s and the 3s and your right hand, your choice of piano and pad, and the way you played it in a very, very still, sustained way. It's so effective. So Tracy, I just want to say kudos to you. Amazing job. I cannot say anything to improve your playing and your singing because it's just really, really good. Yeah, it's like, I guess if I have to put it in terms of points, and if it's like 5 points, you just got 5 out of 5. There's nothing I could say to improve your playing. It's just so good. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that you've even like ministered to me as I was listening to that. I'm going to carry on with the rest of your video and see if there's anything else I want to say on the rest of it. Take this life, deliver a vessel of your all enough devoted to see your kingdom come. Thank you, Jesus. You set me free. Christ my Savior, rescue me. Okay, now Tracy, I am probably going to give just one idea on how you can make it even thicker. Now this is almost nitpicking because you sounded great on its own. This is just some little bit of advice. You almost just beef up what you're playing to make it sound even fuller and thicker if you want, okay? I'm gonna turn on to my screen with the keys and so that was a B flat, right? That's the way I find keys. I just have to play and plonk around and find the key. So we're in the key of B flat. And I'm just gonna jack up my pad sound. Okay, so I've got my piano and my pad set up on Worship Essentials. And then so you've got all these little suspensions going on in the middle. So thank you, Jesus. Right? So that's basically what I'm hearing. I'm hearing like something like this. Right? So at the moment I'm hearing your 4-3, which is sort of just one layer of the 4-3. You might want to harmonize that 4-3 with a 6-5, which is basically a 6th. So instead of just, you might want to double that up with a. Okay, so that sort of really thickens things up a little bit. So instead of just a, what we're wanting to hear is, yep. So tiny thing, right? Like it's really negligible. You don't have to play the 6-5 if you really want to. I'm gonna see if there's any way, because you sang that whole entire thing twice, right? I believe it's a chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And I'm just, I guess, throwing out ideas on how you can make the second time you play any of them a little bit more interesting. Now, I don't think it's always necessary to play the second time more complicated or more intricate. There is a lot of beauty in that stillness. And I really think the way you played them both almost identical was absolutely appropriate. I personally find it a little bit less distracting because you didn't play all these fancy stuff the second time around. But if you do want to do it that way, then I guess what I'll do now is I'll demonstrate how I could spice things up a little bit, beef things up a little bit the second time around. So I'm just going to sort of doodle around. I didn't actually practice before, but I can sort of have an idea. Yeah, I guess I kind of even changed some of the chords to make it fuller or have a lot more passing chords in between. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I guess that's really the best way I can contribute to it because you sounded amazing on your own. Just jumping onto the chat to see if Tracy might have added anything. Okay, I don't see any replies from Tracy. So yeah, I am going to just finish up with Tracy's video and see what else she did at the back. You've given me life, you've opened my eyes. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You have entered my heart, you have set me apart. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You have given me life, you have opened my eyes. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You have entered my heart. You have set me apart. I love you, Lord. I love you, Thank you so much, Tracy. I'm actually going to quickly reference that back to Hillsong's recording and see how they did their bridge section, okay? Your name, God. We worship you, Jesus. We are like you, Lord. Jesus. Come on, with one voice tonight. We sing it out. You lift it up. You've given me life. You've opened my eyes. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You've entered my heart. You've set me apart. I love you. Sing it out. You've given me life. You've opened my eyes. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You've entered my heart. You've set me apart. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. Okay, cool. So I know you're not doing the whole instrumental stuff, so I'm not going to comment on that. That's completely fine. Now, I was basically analyzing the way you built up the unfolding of the bridge, right? So I guess that's the beauty of bridges. You can go really quiet, and then you have, that's probably the best place for the band to demonstrate their ability to grow and to build up and to increase intensity and excitement as the bridge continues. That's like a basic purpose of the bridge, really, to add onto the emotions of the moment. And I love the way you basically played the bridge in a stronger way. Now, if you really want, you could keep your first half really intentionally quiet and kind of just sit back a whole more. And then the second one, which I can hear what Hillsong did, was the second time they really build it up. So I guess it would be. I think I remember you played like pretty high, like the way your chord voicings were was like a really high pitched thing. Okay, so I do believe that's your first time. So I do believe it was. Okay, so let's turn on the piano. What? Why did my chordy app crash again? Oh gosh, guys, this is bad. Is this like what, third time? Sorry. Oh, I really, really like chordy though. It shows a lot more information than Ridiculous, so that's why I'm just not going back to it. Okay, so here we go again. Ugh, please don't crash on us again another time. Well, I'll have to repeat this process of changing my, sharing my screen again. And that would be chordy. So yes, guys, you should see my chordy app on YouTube again. Okay, so here we go. So Tracy, this is what I think I heard you go. You did like. I do believe so. Now, what you can do is, because you did that the same way for both of the bridges that you sang, you could build it up a little bit. So start off with something a little bit lower and with less movement, because you were moving your fingers a little bit as you held onto the chords, which is fine. But if you want to create more contrast, maybe you could start with something not so high, like, right, that would be pretty high, maybe something like a, maybe here. I'm purposely not really moving my notes. Now, you know what? I just realized I think that's a bit too high still. I might actually change from that to maybe here. Yeah, maybe. And I'm purposely doing more now. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, so that's where I would then do exactly what you did, which is to go back down, really quiet. And I love how your choice of chord voicings, you went lower in the pitch range, which was very effective. So basically, I was just throwing out some ideas on how you could just make your bridge even fancier. So Tracy, like I said, I absolutely love what you did. And I am almost nitpicking because I absolutely admire how you even chose to use it that way. So well done, Tracy. That's all I can say. Huge, huge applause to you. Woohoo! Well done. It's always awesome when I hear Inspired Keys Academy members playing well or playing, showing improvement. But Tracy, that's amazing. God has already given you a lot of gifts. And I guess my job is to show you how you can go from like A to A+, if you could think of it that way. Okay, so I really want to welcome Adam, who's joined us, and Veronica has joined us as well. Woohoo! So the next And Borum, hey, hi Borum. So Borum, I've actually answered your question before this one, so you might want to watch the replay to hear what I said about it. But if you want, you can ask some questions in the chat right now. And you guys, all of you who are watching live, you're very welcome to pop your question in there. I don't see a lot of chat going on at this moment, but whatever you ask in the chat, which I will try to reference back as much as I can, I will answer your questions or respond to your chat with priority. And with that, because I can see that Teresa joined us, I want to bump Teresa's question up. I do have in mind to answer Teresa's question, and I will go straight on into the recording of her Great Are You, Lord. So this is what she played. I'm just going to quickly reference back to that video in our Facebook chat, our Facebook group. Give me a sec as I play that video. Thank you so much, Teresa. Basically, I have to say, before I start, guys, Teresa is incredible. She started off with, okay, basically, like most people, it's scary sharing stuff, right? But she overcame the fear the first time, and she shared, I believe it was one hand, right hand playing just the melody line, which is a difficult thing to do. So awesome as it is already. The second time she shared a video, it was hands together. So, gosh, that is a huge improvement. So, Teresa, I am incredibly proud of you, just as the rest of the Academy is. So, well done. Now, basically, she was asking about whether I could demonstrate how we could play left-hand octaves. And I think for worship keyboardists, playing left-hand octaves is like a necessary skill. It is almost unavoidable. If you don't play them in an octave, you might find that the fifths do not suffice. Fifths are easier because it's a lot more comfortable. You could get the human adult hand is almost by default a fifth. The piano keys are designed for the human adult because all the keys are kind of just comfortably positioned with about that kind of a length and spacing and wideness. Why, Cordy, why are you crashing again? This is so disrupting. Okay, guys, because of the frequent crashing, I'm gonna have to turn on my Meticulous. And Meticulous is a whole lot stabler, but sadly also a whole lot less information. But I'm gonna just have to take some time to do this again, sorry. Application window, share Meticulous, and you should be able to see my Meticulous right now on the screen. Cool. Yes, you are screen sharing. Present to everyone. Okay, good. I am screen sharing. Okay, cool. Moving on. Yeah, so what I will do is, I'll move this up a little bit. Basically, if you find it really hard to play octaves on your left hand, see if you could just try your very best to just do I'm just going to move my pads down. So basically, just do it as an exercise. You could do it as a normal scale, like, and look, that's difficult. So if you really struggle to create even just one octave, then that's okay. Try to see if you can do it much slower, but do it with a good quality, not like a, or, you know, like a accidental even, where you might accidentally press a neighboring note, because we don't really want the sound of the seconds from the C and the B or the D to interfere with the way it sounds. Make sure it's really clean and do it slowly, like even slower if you must. And if you really want different ways on how to play that with more interest, you could try different keys. You could try like a D major scale. You know, I'm just basically thinking of different scales that you can play. You can even try chromatic scales. And so forth. So Teresa, that's something you can try and start really slow. You will feel some aches on your hands. It's not a natural thing. Just to make sure you guys know, as a classical piano student, I had to go through my fair share of these exercises. We used to have to do, like, it's not natural for me. I wasn't born like, yay, I can play octaves. I had to train for it. And right now, because I constantly play worship keys and I keep using that skill, I still am pretty fresh with that skill. But like everything, we can learn it and you will be able to play it very naturally, Teresa, if you don't give up and you keep at the octave practicing. Next question was just saying how to play All Sons and Daughters, Great Are You, Lord, in a fuller way, right? So basically, I love what you did there. I do believe it was I do believe that's the way that All Sons and Daughters plays it. But what I'm going to do is, I guess, try and show you how I might play it in a really full way. So I might play it like, okay, so first up, I'm basically adding for both hands. I'm going to be just checking out some of my pads. And then I'm using my pinky to reach up to that A on top. And then, oh, sorry. So what I'm doing is I am accompanying the B with the E on the pinky. So instead of just a, I am having that E on top with the B. So it's, okay, so all together it would be, why do I keep playing the second chord wrong? Sorry about that. Every heart that is broken. I'm probably keeping it really still on the first bit. It's your breath in our lives, so we praise, pour our praise in all. So we pour our praise to you all. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the bridge just because I don't think you played the bridge. But basically, here's a hack, like Teresa, because you were asking me about how to play it more full, right? So I was constantly thinking, okay, full, full, full. How do I make it full? So it's easy. Basically, just try to thicken things up with the octave, right? So what you did in your recording in our Facebook group was that you had a single note on the bass, which is effective enough. It gets the job done. If you want it to be really thick, though, you got to do that octave bass. So instead of just, you want to do, okay? Now, instead of just doing a few notes on the right hand, you do need to thicken it up with like a, so what I basically did a whole lot of, if you didn't notice, was, right, which is basically just a whole lot of 1, 2, and 5, and 1, 2, 3, and 5s. So it's your breath, right? The left hand doing the octave. So you could try different stuff in between the E on the right hand thumb and pinky, and that's a very effective way to thicken things up. I really hope that helps, Teresa. If you are still watching us on our Facebook chat, please go ahead and share any comments that you may have. Cool. Tracy says, thank you for the input. Very helpful. I'm so glad it helped. Bo says, I did hear your answer to my question at the beginning. Thank you. Just late showing up in this chat window. That's all fine. I'm not sure why, though, because usually they should let me know when someone joins, right? I'm not sure why Facebook's like that. And Teresa says, thanks. Oh my gosh, I'm so, so glad it helped, ladies. Thank you. It's awesome answering your questions. Teresa, thank you for your video. Extremely proud of you and absolutely amazed at how you're improving so quickly. I really hope that, yeah, you could just even copy what I'm doing and see if that answers your question on thickening things up and just spicing up your playing. Fantastic. So I've answered Teresa's question, Tracy's question, Boram's question. I'm going to go ahead with the next question, which is from Darlene, who I believe is not able to join us. She is based in South Africa, but I shall answer her question nevertheless, and she can watch the replay. Darlene says she is playing the auxiliary keys at her church, which I believe is Hillsong in South Africa, which is awesome. Woohoo! Congrats, Darlene, for getting into the worship team. I am absolutely proud and amazed at you. And Darlene says, obviously, she is involved in using pads. It seems relatively easy to play pads with slow songs, but I would like an idea of how to play pads with fast songs. And so I asked her, what kind of a fast song are you talking about? And she said something like Relentless by Hillsong. So that is awesome. I'm actually going to just jump right into Relentless on YouTube and just to listen to how it might sound and gives you some ideas. 2013, oh my gosh, it's a long time. Okay, yep. So I remember this song because I played it like a while ago, and it's very repetitive. So I think that intro, which is, you know, like a cool kind of growing and swelling of the sound, it's really awesome. Now, the best way I would go about playing like a pad layer is to use good old main stage, just because you need those kind of electronic, almost, well, it's young and free, right? So you need to create that techno and dance kind of a genre and the sound. And I don't see how you can do that with an ordinary keyboard. You do need to use some tech. So what I'm actually going to do here is, instead of sharing the screen on my Midiculous at the moment with my YouTube live, I shall go ahead and stop the screen share, but share using my main stage window instead, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my main stage window. Now you should see my main stage video. Yeah, okay, so guys, you are seeing my main stage on YouTube live at the moment. And what I am going to do is to show you how I'll go about finding a good sound. So Darlene, what you want to do is to find a pad sound that you can scroll up the mod wheel so that it starts sounding a lot more like a synth. So I'm just having Worship Essentials at the moment, which is a fantastic template. It will get the job done. So let's just talk about what key it is in. Da, da, da. So it's a key of D, right? So that's piano, no piano sound, please. Let's turn the piano down and let's turn up the pad. Okay, so now that's just an ordinary pad sound, which you do not really want. But what you do want to do, guys, mod wheels are awesome. So now I've got my mod wheel turned down, okay? So that's my mod wheel that I'm turning up and down right now. I wanted to show you where it is in case you're not sure what a modulation wheel is. So I'm going to keep it at the low, and then keeping my pad held on, I'm going to turn up my mod wheel. Okay, can you hear how cool it sounded? It just, you slide up the mod wheel and you create that amazing kind of a aggressive pad but dance synth, kind of a thick sound. It does get a bit loud though, so you might want to warn your sound guy that when you roll up your mod wheel, sometimes the volume really increases and everyone can only hear the deafening sound of that synth. So you might want to play around that with in your sound check or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I will play, because if it was just an ordinary da 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 da, so I guess you may not be able to play all of your bass notes because you need to shift your mod wheel up, but I will probably play. Okay, now that was just pads, right? The cooler thing you want to do is, if you can increase, add the chainsaw effect, that would be even cooler. So that's where you might want to put on your ARP. So ARP would be this layer. I'm not sure if ARP was the best. Maybe we might want to use another one, like massive sidechain. Okay, so I'm on another sound within. So I'm just gonna explore a little bit of Worship Center. Yeah, so you can hear that kind of a chainsaw, right? So that's kind of the sound that you want to try and find. So if I have to play Relentless, what I will then do is to go on to my Google Chrome or something, and I'm just gonna Google Relentless Hillsong BPM, because that tells you the beats per minute, which I have found to be, sorry, it's not so obvious. Gotta kind of click in. There we go. It is BPM 110. Okay, so then I shall go into my Worship Essentials and go into Attributes. Go to change tempo to 110. Click Enter. So then you instantly get that really cool techno kind of beat sound. Do I want drone? I want the sidechain. Do I want mod? Okay, so I'm just going to tweak around a little bit of the settings here. So okay, cool. So I guess, you know what? That's probably what I'll do. If I turn up the, oh, cool, there's even synth. So I'm just going to try the synth now. I might turn up the synth just to create more oomph. Okay, I might turn on the ARP as well. So, I mean, why not, right? Verb, do I want verb? No. Okay, I'm just looking at what like extra settings I can have. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm going to turn on my Ridiculous as well. And then on YouTube, you will only be able to see my my main stage. But those of you who are watching this on who are Inspired Keys Academy members, I am recording my screen, and you will be able to see the notes I play as well as Worship Essentials. Okay, so this is what I will do. I might layer it first with the pad and without the ARP. Then I'll sneak up the synth, and then I'll sneak up the arpeggio. So then you will hear how it's like a cool way I could like grow the sound. Okay, so first up, I'm going to turn my mod wheel down so that I could grow it. So, okay, so. Yeah, I don't know if you realized that I was trying to grow it and then kind of trying to let it die down as well. Basically, I grew it with the mod wheel, with the arp, with the synth layers, like layering a lot of them. So there was a lot of movement. It was really exciting. And then when that grew up to a climax and I decided to just kind of fade out the synth, fade out the arp, lower my mod wheel, and then I pretty much got my good old, guess, just a pad sound and just had like a. So, Darlene, I really hope that helped. It's really not even just a pad anymore. I just feel that a pad sound will not suffice. It has to be very driven, like in a techno kind of. I don't even know it's pad anymore. It's like a pad synth sound. And so I really hope that helps. So yeah, really hope that helps. Darlene, thank you for your question. Jumping on to our Facebook group to see if there are any questions. Bo says, cool. Teresa says it helps. I'm so glad it did. Bo says, can everyone see the keyboard? The previous YouTube link isn't working for me. Ah, is that right? Bo, thank you for saying that. Can I just quickly check that right now? I'm okay. Now, worst case scenario, you can always watch the replay where all the links will be there. So I'm just gonna test the link on my browser. Okay, now, cool. Yep, I do believe it is working. Bo, it works. Now, what I'm gonna do is, Bo, I'm gonna copy and paste that link in here again, and hopefully you will be able to see it on this one. Or maybe you just need to reload the link, like maybe you just refresh the browser or something. Cool. So, Bo, thank you for that. David joined us again. Hello, David. Cool. So that was Darlene's question, and I shall jump into the very last question of today that I've compiled over the weeks anyways, and that would be David. David Wetrick says, can I please show how I will play So Will I on piano? And I guess I'll just also use the pad and demonstrate how I'll do piano and pad So Will I. So I guess what I really need to do is to refresh my memory on which key So Will I is in. So Will I, and I guess I will use the Hillsong version, which is the original. So let's go ahead and there at the start, before the beginning of time. Still on my chainsaw sound. I'm just going to switch that back to piano and pad. And hang on, what's going on with my main stage? I don't hear anything. Cool, great. I've got my main stage back. It's in the key of D. Okay, so David, what I'll do is I guess I'll just demonstrate how I'll do this with like a piano and pad sound. So piano, wait, can I see this? Yeah, pad. Why? Hear anything? something strange is going on. I'm not sure why piano and pads is not giving me any sound at the moment. Well, I guess I'll have to make do with cathedral atmosphere, but turn the organ down and turn the bass. Yeah, that's just as good. Okay, so I've got my sounds ready, but I realized that my screen share is still on Ridiculous. I'm gonna have to turn that off and turn on my screen share with Ridiculous again, with main stage, I mean. So, okay, back to Ridiculous, and I am now sharing. Cool, now you should be able to see what I am playing. Cool, on to, now that's a bit too distracting, isn't it? I guess I'll use this on the background. Oh, no, not that. This one. And then that's my cool. Okay, so I guess here's just maybe a jam through of if you really want to do the why are you telling me something on here? Reload site, why are you, what? My gosh, guys, I think just Facebook just logged me out. I'm so sorry. Why? What is this whole thing happening? Okay, hang on. Just going to redo the live video. Sorry, David. I really meant to just play through the whole thing in one go. But just going to turn on my live video on Facebook again. I'm not sure why. I'm back. Can I just see if my YouTube live is still going on? Yep, it is. Okay. Okay, so it seems like I'm back. I just have to be in a different video. Sorry, Facebook Academy members, you guys need to come into the new Facebook video. Yeah, I've created a new live video, so really hope this stays stable for now. Okay, so going into the verse again, verse 2. So yeah, I guess that's how I'll do. So will I. I hope that really helped. So thank you so much, David, for asking that question. We've got Boroman Tracy, who joined us back in our Facebook Live. I do not know why I decided to shut halfway, but I'm back, and I don't see any other question from today. So if Bo and Tracy, there are no other questions, thank you so much. We shall call it a day, and thank you so much for sharing, for asking your questions, Inspired Peace Academy members, and also for joining us today. I really, really appreciate that you took the time to join us. If you have any other questions, you're very welcome to just ask me. You can post it in our Facebook group. You could email me personally if you're really shy about sharing your recording. Although whatever you ask in the community in our Facebook group will benefit the entire group of us. So I should thank you in advance for asking your questions. Now I'm just going to address the YouTube general audience and say hello, Emmanuel and Gerard. Thank you so much for joining us and also putting your question into our chat, even though I'm not technically able to answer them fully. But Gerard, you did say, how about playing octaves in the right hand for worship music? Yep, Usually for the right hand, we are busier. We have more notes that we want to play. So you do want to play that thick, create a thick sound by using an octave on the right hand, but also have like fingers 2 and 3 and 4, doing a little bit more to enhance the playing a little bit. So with that, guys, I am gonna sign off and say thank you again for joining us. I will be back in 2 weeks, also on a Wednesday. I do believe it's the 31st of October for our second Q&A in the month of October. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us. And if you are watching this live and you also have a question on worship keys, maybe you feel like, hey, you really want to have your question asked, get some feedback for your playing, just like how I gave feedback to the other Academy members today, you are very welcome to join the Inspired Keys Academy. Just check out inspiredkeys.com/join. And I would love to welcome you into the fold and into your going to your next levels in worship keys playing. So thank you so much for joining us. Facebook group and also in YouTube. Signing off for now, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye.